All right, everybody. This is Joe Troyer. Welcome to the Mastermind webinar. Just kidding, Eric Brief. I just had to do that. Guys, really looking forward to an amazing webinar today. Go ahead and pop in here, and you guys should be able to see my screen. Go ahead, give me a 1. Hit me with a 1 if you can see that. All right, awesome. We got the 1. We got Mark, Nate, Patrick, Ron, Rebecca, Shauna, James, Clive. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to go over a lot of different things today. It's going to be really cool. I'm going to just go ahead and we should have the full screen situation over here. So a couple of things I want to go over. I want to go over last week's performance. And then I want to talk about one of the new cool options that we've got in terms of helping you guys a couple of tools. We'll obviously want to get you on the court as usual, get you some incentives there. And you guys will see as we unfold here. So as far as the quick review of last week, someone says full screen. No, Justin made a joke. All right, so what I actually would like to do with you guys is we had quite the informational session last time, and I really want to hear your feedback. Go ahead and put into the question box. How did you actually change up, or what did you actually get from last week's webinar that you put into action this week that actually helped you cause an outcome? So go ahead and take a second and just type that into the question chat box over here, and we'll go ahead and share some of that so everyone can kind of get some takeaways from each person. Not everybody at once. So one of the things that people took away was how to actually understand the objections, the rebuttals from the prospect side. Like, what are they thinking? Why are they responding this way? And how can I get into their kind of understanding their world about everything in order to help? Okay. One of the other things I heard was that I got into action for the first time when I saw that other people were making calls. I got motivated by that. And so Nate was saying he's been coming in hot, calling people this week, just like jumping into a cold shower. I like the temperature analogy. Yeah, so it's like one of the things that people are taking away also is just jumping in is really the only way to get going. So if the only way you're going to have access to actually getting any results is to actually do that. All right. Okay. And then we actually have, Nate has said he's actually taking cold showers too. And then so I have a couple people being like, I'm jumping in full steam, doing this full time. Amazing. Guys, that was really going to, putting every single day in, day out, and doing what we say here is going to make a huge difference. Someone had said that my mindset is completely changed, right? I'm not getting defensive when the objection is presented, right? It's just an open door to begin the conversation. So guys, I'm not getting enough responses from you. You gotta keep on chiming in here about what your takeaways were. Makes a huge difference for everybody. All right, guys, so keep that going. We're gonna keep on having them roll in right now. I want to give a couple shout outs. So this week's shout outs are going to be a little different. It's about the entire mastermind. There were a lot of deals that were put in this week, right? Like triple and quadruple, maybe the deals from the week before, but almost no check-ins. Like literally for some of you guys, I'm looking at I can see some of the reports, and it looks like some of you guys didn't check in at all this past week. And there were a lot of deals that came through. Like literally people were very successful. We had like, I think over 10 deals. Next is people are starting to get a lot better, right? I mean by that is you're actually starting to improve, one, the amount of calls that you're making, the quality of the phone calls, the mindset that you have when you're actually on the phone calls. All right, so I've also heard people saying is how much profit is typically made by a contractor on average. So you're learning about different values and understanding the business a little better. All right, so guys, what I'd like you to do right now is go ahead and type in, right, if you notice that you're getting a lot better this week. Give me a 3 if you've actually really improved on something. Yeah, tons of 3s are rolling in, right? Give me a 3 if you've improved on. In fact, for extra bonus, tell me what it is that you actually improved on most this week. I'm gonna need more 3s here. All right, so check-ins are the #1 way to teach you guys, right? So when I see check-in, then I actually know what you're doing. So a lot of people are relaxing. I'm hearing that a lot. Holy crap. People are making calls consistently, but they're relaxing, and they're just being more, I guess, themselves on the phone, naturally, you can call it. Now other people are saying, I'm understanding how much freaking value I'm bringing. Other people are saying that this week they actually they recorded themselves and listened to know what they're saying and what they're not saying. And listen to the difference between if they're following the script and listening to the difference of what it is that, what it is they sound like. So that's a huge, huge thing. All right, next thing is, all right, what is stopping you? Okay, so this is a really important thing, right? I want everyone to go ahead and type into the chat box what is stopping you. Now, before we actually get into that, that's what the slide is about. But what are you most excited about when you get on the phones? So that's the question. What are you most excited about when you get on the phone? So I'd actually like somebody to chime in here. In fact, I'd like someone to actually get somebody on the call here and actually tell us what are you most excited about. Give me a 3 if you'd actually love to jump in and say what are you most excited about. All right, let's get Mark on the call. Mark, give me a 3. Give me a 3 right now if you're interested in being on the call. Trying to unmute you, Mark. Give me 1 second. All right, Mark, you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. All right, Mark, thanks for being on the call right now. I feel like I'm a radio talk show host. Thank you for agreeing to be on the call. All right, Mark, where are you from?
No worries. What's that now? Say it
again. All right, Mark. So what are you most excited about when you get on the phone with the prospect? Like when you were starting your day and you look at the opportunity for the mastermind, what are you most excited about? Like what has you pick up that phone?
What has me pumped is I have an opportunity to really help somebody and be able to develop a relationship, and just grow and scale. And it's almost like pinch me, is it real? Is it happening? So
yeah. All right, awesome. Mark, guys, give me a 2 if you identify with that. Yeah, Mark, it's blowing up. People are very excited about that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, people are just jumping in. So I think that's a great point. Why developing relationships are really important is because if somebody knows you and they like you, the likelihood of them staying on board with you is so much higher. If they know that they have an issue, they'll call you.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't have an issue, then they might call you anyway and tell you, hey, things are going great. Mm-hmm. But the truth is, the last thing you want when you're talking to someone is for them not to talk to you or not to call you.
Mm-hmm.
Because when that happens, that's when people, you lose control of the situation and you have no input. And you always want to have influence over that prospect, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so what results get you most bothered or stopped when you're dialing, right? Like, so there's the excitement, and then there's something that comes up, and you're like, shit.
Yeah.
What is it?
The fear of the unknown, in a sort of a sense, and not having the experience to with the dialogue, with oh shit, if they back me in the corner, how am I going to get out of this? So I start to preconceive in my mind, and need to shut it down while I'm on, and just shut up and listen, because what they're thinking is not what I'm thinking. That's really the main thing.
Yes. Oh my God. Right. So here you said it out loud, and then you essentially just got clear. Like, there is no way that they're thinking all the stuff that I'm. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
It would be crazy. Yep. Yeah, give me a 7 if you've ever thought like that on the phone, or if that's ever kind of been something that stopped you. Oh my God, they're going to bug out, or they're going to do this, or right, guys. When you speak to a prospect on the phone, all they're thinking about is this guy going to help me, or is this person not going to help me? Is this going to get me results, or is this not going to get me results? So all the questions that you're afraid of and all that kind of stuff, it's actually not going to move you closer to the deal. Listening to the person and responding to them is going to get you a deal, and confidence is the number one thing. All right, awesome, guys. Keep on giving me 7s. I'm actually not getting enough responses. You guys to stay engaged in this, and you must respond, because when you respond, it changes how you listen to the webinar. All right, so I want everyone to get the most value here. Last is, if that thing were not stopping you, and you kind of answered this a little bit before, right? Then what would you be doing? Right? Meaning, like, if you weren't being stopped by thinking about what they were going to say or what they could say that would throw you off, then how is it that you would be acting on the phone? Like, that couldn't happen. It wasn't possible.
Putting the pedal to the metal, being able to extrapolate, being able to just point blank identify and let them know that I needed to have them help me to know that they need what I have, and they've never experienced anything what I have. And it's like a number 10. I don't care what advertising you've done. You don't know what I have, and I can take and scale you beyond your wildest dreams. You just don't know it yet. So that's trying to bridge that gap is my main thrust. Is what hitting pedal to the metal.
Yeah. So when you get rid of that thought, what the first thought that comes in is, hey, wait a second. I actually could help the crap out of this business and totally change what's possible for them and me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There was a guy yesterday that actually thought he knew what I was calling him about, and I stopped and I said, well, what is it that I do? He goes, I know what you do. I said, okay, what is it I do? Well, you share leads with everybody. No, sir, that's not what I do. As a matter of fact, you have 10 to 15 minutes so I can explain what I do, how I do. I have 6 different things that I do completely different that differentiates my business, and I do this for a living. So I tried to come off as though I knew what I was talking about, and so I got the consult, and that's great, but they tried to stop you right in your tracks there with hitting point questions.
Yeah, people, guys, what you're pointing to, Mark, is that when people get on the phone with you, it's easier for them to assume that they know what you're doing when they don't actually know what you're doing. In fact, you are the expert. They have no idea what this is. And if you don't get a chance to talk to them, then you're not going to win that. So guys, give me a 6, right? If you've actually had that experience and you turned it around. Yep. Guys, why it's important. So I wouldn't recommend, Mark, just for the record, guys, I wouldn't recommend giving them the lead of saying, what is it? What do you think that I do? Okay. Unless you have control over that call, like a very strong control. Otherwise, you're probably going to run out of control and hit a tree in the call. But definitely being like, hey, this is what we don't do. And then just essentially give your home advisor and marketing spiel. Mm-hmm. All right, so keep on throwing in the 6s there. All right, guys, listen, that was really good, Mark. Thank you. We're going to get you off. Thank you, guys. Everyone, give us an 8 to thank Mark, because everyone knows, like, getting up in front of everybody and sharing this stuff, it is not something that's necessarily comfortable. But every time that you get outside of your comfort zone, that's when you actually have an opportunity to grow as a salesperson. So guys, if you think that you haven't made a lot of calls and you're magically going to like become an expert at sales without actually having any call experience, you're crazy. And if you think that you should be good without experience, you're also crazy. All you need to do is get on the court and make these calls. All right, goals, 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 goals. All right, so actually, I don't know if you guys know this, but goals are really important. I want you to type into the chat box. If you've ever had the experience here, give me a 9. If you've ever set goals and been shocked at the outcome because you set those goals. Right? Everyone's 9ing me back. And Brian Tracy. Brian Tracy's like, you must write down your goals. Right? These are people who are experts in success. Everybody's all about writing down your goals, and we have something set up for you guys. So in just a second in the chat box, we're literally going to take less than 5 minutes to go in there and actually go over goals. So we're actually going to go in there in that chat box, and we're going to discuss how you can achieve your goals, what you're going to do. Okay, so give me 1 second. I'm going to get those goals, that goal URL into the chat box. There we go. Guys, you look into that chat box, I want you to click on that URL. I'm going to pull up the screen. Bear with me. And you should now be able to see where it says Mastermind Weekly Goals Form. So I'm going to read this out loud. I'm not going to be reading it out loud when you're by yourself filling out this form. But here you go. Open this form up right now, okay? Guys, give me a 2. All right, guys, look in the chat box for the URL. Give me a 2 if you got your weekly goals form opened up on your computer. All right, keep on. I want to see 1,000 2s here. All right, guys. So let me tell you about this goals form, why it's so important. The most important thing for a salesperson is to have goals and keep track of how far along you are on these goals. It's great and it's amazing to hit them, but you cannot stress or beat yourself up over not hitting them. Focus on the process and actions that are needed to achieve these goals and not on the result. And you'll have the best chance to exceed your own expectations. The goal should be a stretch for you. So what do I mean by that? So guys, if a goal is something you've already done every week, then it's not something that's a goal. It's what you've already done that's kind of boring. Every week you should stretch yourself and expand what you see as possible. So before you made any money in the mastermind, right, you did not understand what was actually possible for you. You had an idea about it, right? But it didn't occur as real to you, right? Does anybody, guys, give me a 4 in the chat box and be totally straight. If you feel like you got an idea of what you could possibly get out of the mastermind in terms of earning revenue and freedom and all that stuff, but you don't know if you'll actually be able to get it or you haven't actually tasted it, right? Hit me with the 4s, right? Yeah, keep them coming. So everybody that's ever had success in the mastermind started off with 0 deals. And the people that had the most success, they started getting deals, right? It sounds really simple. It is that simple. What you have to do is actually do the actions that lead to results for you. So, like I said, every week you want to stretch yourself. So imagine this. If you improve your results by 3% week over week, you will have an enormous increase in your productivity, enormous, in a month or 2 months. And if you were to continue to do that, and right now, by the way, you guys can increase your productivity by at least 10, 15, 30, and some of you even 50 and 100%. So I want you to keep in mind. Okay. So someone said, isn't it better to set tasks instead of goals? Both are good. You have to have goals because tasks don't have an intention. All right, guys, let me finish this sheet up and you'll get an idea. It is better to strike out with your best and miss your goals every week than it is to set none or not pay attention to them. I had what's it called? There was a colleague that I had working with me at the company I used to work at. And this person, she was a very good salesperson, but she was absolutely petrified of setting goals. Why? Because she was like, what if I don't hit my goals? And I was like, who gives a shit if you hit your goals or not? You have something that you're shooting for. But she was so afraid of actually hitting her goals. And what ended up happening is she literally didn't even try, didn't start. Now, so what happened to this person is there was like a mark of hitting like 10,000 K in monthly revenue sold per month. Now, if I didn't hit that goal at the minimum, it was like it's like I didn't come to work that month. But for this and by the way, only a couple people out of 60 were actually hitting that goal. And company-wide with a couple hundred salespeople, there were probably like 20. So let me explain, was that this person never set the goal out above that 10K. That was like, oh, 10K. And for her, it was just like a maybe one day. In her entire career of 3 years selling, she only broke that 10K mark once at 11. My averages were 14, 17, 18, all sorts of these numbers with different payouts based off of it. But this was literally something that I would always do because I'd always set my goal at 20. In fact, actually, one month I actually got 24. That was my best month. But it was only because I had insane goals. So I want to let you guys know, how do we do goals? So guys, give me, by the way, a 4 if you're really if you're taking this in, if you're actually getting something out of this goal thing, if you're seeing something new about goals. All right, awesome. Guys, keep on flooring us. I'm floored by the force. So, guys, we set goals based off of key performance indicators, KPIs. You may be familiar with that term. Now, the end goal is deals and selling, right? But there are important data that are directly correlated with success. So the most important KPIs for us are consults that are set and consults that are held. Clearly, if you do not set consults, then you cannot hold consults. And if you do not hold consults, then you cannot close deals. This is obvious, but give me a 1 here if you're actually kind of starting to comprehend that if you're not setting, there's no way that you're going to make money. Like, has that hit you over the head like a little bit of a rock over there? Right? If you're not setting up appointments, you're not making money. All right, give me the 1s. You should be flooding with 1s. Guys, I want to say Nate is like hitting the keyboard talking about like, I'm making calls. I can't believe I wasn't making calls. Are you making calls? You should be making calls. Calls. He's like all about it. All right, so I want you guys to be filling this out right now. I'm going to read you this. How many consults are you setting each day this week? How many consults are you setting this week in total? How many consults are you holding each day this week? How many consults are you holding this week in total? And how many deals will you close each day this week? And how many total deals will you close this week? And what are you most excited and looking forward to about this week? Now, I want to let you guys know something. I want to let you know that these questions alone are actually going to break your brain. They should be breaking your brain. And why that's the case is because many of you guys didn't even consider the possibility of closing a deal every day. Right? Give me a 3 if you had never crossed your mind of closing a deal a day. Yep. Guys, a deal a day keeps the doctor away. Guys, when you close a deal a day, it will totally change your life. Now, the only way to do that is to be setting up appointments. All right, so guys, I'm seeing a couple people who are like, there's actually a group of you guys who are not responding. All right, perfect. All right, so guys, give me a 5 in the chat box if you completed your goal sheet. Guys, this goal sheet should take you 2 minutes. So here's the thing. Every Monday morning at 9 a.m., everybody should be submitting their goals form. So you're going to get a reminder for it. But this goals form is going to help you look at your week. Right? Every time you don't feel like doing this, or you don't feel like doing that, or you're motivated or whatever, you look at that goal sheet and realize that you gave your word to doing that. And it actually makes a big difference. Guys, 5. Guys, I'm not getting that people have finished up their sheet. Guys, give me a 5 in the chat box. Guys, can everyone see I'm filling out? So Adam typed in, I think a realistic goal is to do enough consults per week to close at least 1 deal a week. Guys, 1 deal a week at the minimum. Guys, Adam, especially, you got to be close. You have to set your sights higher than 1 goal a week. You've already done 1 deal a week. So for you to say to do only that would be preposterous. With whatever little experience you've had, you've already done that. You got to be setting your sights at 3 deals a week minimum, and you can do it. All right, so we're getting a lot of 5s coming in. Guys, in the chat box, you'll have the URL. All right, guys, what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna get on the court. All right, so everybody pull up your scripting, right? Get out your, if you have supply houses numbers and go out there, go ready to call them and get some of those referrals, right? If you've got those referrals, now would be the time to make those phone calls. And I wanna pull one thing up before we get out there. So guys, Jason Silva is actually the person who won last week to get the contest for the one-on-one. So Jason, I want you to go ahead and send me a DM on Slack and send me one of your call recordings that you were puzzled that you didn't close, and we'll go ahead and go over that. Today's consult is first to get 4 consults. That is the contest this week. So first to get 4 is going to get a one-on-one with me. We'll talk on the phone, and I will break down one of your consults. Okay. So right now we are going to go ahead and start up the block, and we're going to come back at 11:55. And boom, go ahead and start. Here's the URL. Guys, and go ahead and type your results and what you're getting from this into Slack, and the results win. Guys, one more thing to point out here is if you called a referral that you got from a supply house and you didn't get in touch with the decision maker, please call them back again. For God's sakes, call them until you get a response, a yes or a no. right, everybody, welcome back. All right, what I'd like to see right now is have people typing into the chat box. What were the results? All right. All right, guys, keep on typing in some results. All right, we got people getting lots of referrals, making calls. One set. Lots of phone calls. People are touching decision makers. Awesome, keep coming in, still calling. All right, guys. Right now, I want to hear more results. So give me a 3 if you're back in the room, right? You're back in the biz. You're on this phone call. You're engaged. I need to hear back from everybody. All right, I'm not hearing back from everybody, guys. Keep on putting back in. All right, or put in the chat box. 5 if you're still for some reason on the phone with somebody. Don't make any new calls right now. All right, guys. So right now, I'm actually not hearing back results from all you guys. So I want you to type into the chat box a Y if you set an appointment. Nice, Ron, popping in. Great work, guys. Keep on, and then give me an N if you didn't. Guys, you're either a Y or an N. There's no in between. Awesome. Keep the feedback coming in here. All right, we got a bunch of consults here, guys. You probably just warming up if you don't have enough, if you didn't get enough referrals, right? I want you to call those referrals, call the supply house, getting them. All right, we're gonna jump right now, right back in to getting some more calls, right? Got a bunch of people who set some great consults up, right, guys? Go for the on the fly, right? So what I'd like y'all to do is jump back into the calling game right now, right? We're gonna pick back up and put in here at 12:30. We're gonna do a little bit of a longer call block, and I want you guys to get out there and set some goals. So, all right, someone's jumping on a consult that they just booked right now. Amazing. Oh, damn it, guys, the results are awesome. All you need to do is get on the phone. All right, so at 12:30, we're gonna pop back on here. For God's sakes, I hope you're on the consult at that time. Don't pop back on, but this is a really important part of the webinar that we're gonna actually what we're going to do. So if you don't get on this, you got to listen to this recording. It's in fact, for God's sake, please stay on unless you're on a console. That's the only reason why you shouldn't be popping back on at 12:30. All right, guys, so go ahead and call and keep on reporting the results in.
All right, everybody, welcome back, welcome back. This is Ryan Walsh here. How's everybody doing this afternoon? So I want to see some feedback in the chat, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let me know what happened during that call block there in employing the strategies that Eric was going over at the beginning. So let's get some good feedback. What's up, Teresa? Lots of hold time, Justin said, is in staying on hold. Yeah, give it all. The good, bad, whatever happened. I want to get some good feedback for everybody on the call. How many people did you talk to? Did you hear any new objections? Did you set any consults? Let's see here. Nate wrapping up a call with the contractor right now and working on a set. Awesome. Bunch of voicemails for decision makers. Adam spoke to 5 supply houses and got 9 referrals. Awesome, Adam. Way to go, man. Richard set a consult for this afternoon. Fantastic. Come on, everybody. Even if you didn't talk to anybody, tell me you made dials, but you didn't get a hold of anybody. A couple new supply houses found. Lots of voicemails. That's okay, as long as we're following up with those people. Come on. Austin, lots of dials but no contacts. Okay. Gotta keep making those dials. It's a numbers game, as we've been going over. Voicemails. Okay. Don't let those voicemails discourage you. Most people out to lunch, Clark said. Others on voicemails. That's fine. All right, awesome, fantastic. I'm gonna bring Eric back on here. Give me one moment. Eric, you there?
All right, guys, welcome back. I wanted to send you a new thing. This is a really cool thing that I'm introducing to you guys, and what it is the self-assessment form. So one of the most probably nerve-wracking, nail-biting, most uncomfortable things I ever did when I first started in sales was listening to my own phone calls. So one of my managers pulled me into an office and he said, Eric, let me play you one of these calls. And I'm like, oh God. And the first thing I noticed is how stupid I thought my voice sounded. But the next thing I noticed actually was that I was super nervous and super unsmooth on the phone. And I told that to my manager, and he said, who cares, man? It makes you actually sound human. It's what doesn't work is that you don't say the right things, or you don't use the rebuttals the way that they're designed. And I'm like, what? So I actually, rather than judging myself and how well I thought I did or didn't do, I actually just took the coaching, which was to practice, get more facile with the rebuttals and reading the scripting. And when I did that, that made it transform me completely. I never made the same mistake on that call ever again. I learned that I was not dominating the call, but I was being dominated. And so I implore you, let's start to listen to our own calls so we can hear how we sound. So what you want to do is you want to take one of your consults or one of your sets and listen to that recording. Fill out the form as you go along, after, and I want you to report back what you got from that into the chat box, and listen to that call and let us know what was it that you got from that. Like, what did you learn by hearing yourself? And you might think you sound so stupid, but I want you to listen to a call right now. Literally pull up the URL in Twilio, listen to yourself on the call and give feedback. So for some of you that might take a lot of gargantuan effort and courage, it will pay off, I promise you. And if you do this every week with at least one call, you will get better. I promise you. So go ahead and do that right now. Give me a 1 into the chat box, right? If you know how to do that and you're on it right now and you've already pulled it up, right? Type into the chat box, ask for support if you don't actually know how to pull your recorded calls.
All right, awesome, Eric. So guys, you see that URL in the chat right there, web1.co/SAF. Go ahead and pull that up right now. like Eric said, go grab one of your call recordings, either from a consult or a set, listen to it, and then fill out that form. We're looking for all the feedback we can get. You said, I hate my voice. We all do, man. First time I hopped on and listened to some of my recordings, it was awful and painful, but the benefit is well worth the cringe, trust me. So let's do that right now. Take the next 25 minutes until the end of the call here, and we're going to come back around 1 o'clock, and we're going to go over some of those submissions of feedback that you put in that URL. So in the chat, if you don't see it again, web1.co/SAF. Listen to either one of yours consults or sets and fill out that feedback form, and we'll go over it here in a little bit.
All right, guys, give me a 3 if you submitted your self-assessment form. All right, guys, we're going to wrap up everything. So we're going to just pump in to wrap up right now. So let us know you're back. Right, in case you didn't know, guys, give me a 1 that you're back. Guys, there was the last question that was kind of incomplete. We're going to fix that up. I totally get it. You're right. All right, people are back. Just got the link. Okay. Guys, self-assessment was probably the number one thing that pushed me forward, like I mentioned earlier. I want to be really clear. This was really important. Everybody that did it, I would be shocked if you're not like exponentially increasing your results this week just by hearing that. Like, you don't even need to think you got anything to get tons of stuff. So let me, guys, take a second to write to the chat box what you got, like what it is that you actually heard in listening to your own call. And by the way, you can exclude the fact that you cringed, because if you didn't cringe, I'd be surprised, because everybody's cringing. Like, it's like, oh my God, I sound awful. So just take a second right now to write your top takeaway. You might have a million takeaways. Just start with 1 and then submit, and then you can continue to blabber off, and it'll be amazing. Guys, you got to keep on pumping in here. Keep going. All right, so people are saying, they're like, oh, I'm not bad on the phone, but I probably need to prioritize who I'm talking to, make sure that they're the right person. Oh my God, that's so valuable, right? Guys, don't pick someone who's not a decision maker, right? Don't be like people-pleasing people on the phone. Get to the right person, right? People are saying, I'm happy with how I sound, right? Make more calls, right? Be ready for the unexpected, right? You kind of almost hear yourself being caught off guard, right? Somebody noticed that they say a lot, right? We catch a lot of the habits that we have that really stop us from sounding professional. Right now, a million times is going to kill you. Talking slowly and intentionally won't kill you unless you lose control of the call. Guys, if you think about it, the only important thing you do is sound like you know what you're talking about and that you're super professional. Right? Someone goes, I'm surprised at how good I sounded. Right? Yeah, you're better than you think you are. And it doesn't sound like you're reading. Right? So make more calls, because you guys are good. I promise. I've listened to the calls. Right? Guys, people love being flattered. Right? Nate is like, contractor was weary. But when Joe from ABC said I was the best, that made a huge difference, right? People are seeing that they need to get better at practicing the script because their personality isn't coming through, right? Guys, I can't stress enough, just keep practicing, just keep practicing. Okay. So we've done the self-assessment. I'm not getting enough feedback from you guys. You got to really be active on this, because your feedback makes a huge difference. Not for me, for everybody else, and for us to help you, but for certain everybody else. All right. So the next thing I want to do is I want to do shout-outs. So the last shout-outs that I want to do is I want to acknowledge everybody, all the new dudes who are making deals who haven't already been acknowledged. So the first thing I want to shout out is Matt Miller, right? Like I said, Matthew Miller. Same name as my uncle, same name as Mattis Yahoo, right? He's got his second deal last week, right? This guy is just in the mastermind. He's got his second deal already. Next, I want to acknowledge Steve Young, touchdown. Steve, congratulations, right? This guy's brand new in the mastermind, wheeling and dealing, right? He didn't get 7 points. He got a huge deal, which is way better than a touchdown. All right, so guys, great work. Obviously, how did you do it? Right, type into the chat box. What did you do? How did you get that deal? Right, and the answer was I followed the script and made phone calls. So that really is the access to getting it done. So I want to thank everybody for coming on the webinar. let me wrap up here really quickly. If you did get those 4 consults set during this time, go ahead and type it into the chat box, send it to Joe or me. Actually, send it to Joe on Slack, or type it in right here, including all of the recordings, etc. For those of you who didn't get the results that you wanted, or got the exact results you wanted on the blocks, go back out there and make more calls, set up more appointments, get those consults, right? I can see what your goals are, right? When you look and that you didn't have your goals or you met your goals, look at the actions that you took. You're always going to get great insights and take more action. So everybody, really thank you for being here. We are going to do something really cool and special again on Thursday's Mastermind webinar, and we're going to introduce a couple new things. So definitely, guys, I can't stress enough, you got to be in front of your computer for these webinars. I know that things come up in life, but obviously better to be on than not at all. But if you're not taking the actions on the webinar, then you're actually missing out on a really, really, really good opportunity. Huge opportunity. So guys, last thing is, if you had a breakthrough on today's call, leave a comment in Slack or feedback, right? But go ahead and drop it right now so we can share it with everybody else. Something that you really took away today that you didn't know, especially in regards to the self-assessment or the goal form. Go ahead and sound off right now. Guys, not everybody at once. Yeah, the reminder of what's actually possible, right? Closing a deal a day is 100% possible. That was Justin West. Justin, with the actions that I've seen you take last week, I don't know what you're doing this week, 100%. Listening to strengths and weaknesses is a great exercise to see where to improve. Yeah, absolutely, guys. If you're not improving, you're actually not, you're like reverse improving. You're getting worse because you have more knowledge, but you're keeping your old habits, which are still going to stop you, right? Someone took away, setting goals was amazing for me, right? And then there's some great tools that we got from this webinar. Need to commit. Gordon says, I got that. I got to commit and not be afraid of coming up short. This is amazing, guys. Last 2 comments that just keep on letting them flow in here because these are huge. These are huge. Guys, listen, everybody should be expecting results. And at the same time, some of you guys have just started this. And those of you who are OGs in the mastermind, you should try on that you're just starting this because the deals that you're able to get right now are going to propel you into the future. The earlier you start getting deals, the more opportunity you'll learn to work with clients, to upsell, and to move on to the next one. Guys, there's nothing worse than like chasing someone. So if there's one thing that I want you guys to keep in mind is at the end of a consult, this person is dead to you. Meaning like you're never going to talk to them again, you're never going to get the deal. Now you may very well, they may come back from the dead, but that's pretty unlikely. We don't know of that many stories of that in this world. All right, so once again, thank you everybody. Thanks so much. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on the next call. In the meantime, I want to hear about those comments, those breakthroughs on Slack. Guys, share all of your wins. Thank you.